Tulsa City voters will be voting soon on changing the city charter or not.
It's one of the things we wanted to talk about with Tulsa Mayor's G.T. Bynum. He joins us live this morning for our monthly chat. Good morning, Mayor Bynum.
Morning.
You know, focusing on the first proposition, and I'm going to run through this and you tell me if this is right. So the city charter in 1990 set your salary at $70,000 for the mayor's office. It is currently $105,000. This proposition will eliminate the $70,000 reference, right? We aren't giving you a pay raise if we vote for it?
This is, well, to be first crystal clear, I don't get any raise if this is approved. I make the same amount that Susan Savage was making when she was the mayor back in the 1990s, and that's fine by me. This is called public service for a reason. But what we found from a legal standpoint is that there's a discrepancy between the language that's in our city charter and the language that's in our city ordinances. And so this is just legal cleanup. It won't impact what the mayor gets paid at all. It's just cleaning up that discrepancy.
I just think it's really important because as a voter, you go in and you may know names of the people that you want for elected positions, but then these charter propositions pop up and the legalese can be a bit confusing.
Absolutely.
The second proposition deals with residence requirements if you want to run for office. Can you elaborate?
Yeah, this is just stipulating that if you're going to run for, in particular, the city council, you need to live in that district for a year before you run. And I think for the councilors and I, this was a common sense change. It brings us in line with what you see in most cities around the country. The idea being that if you're going to represent a district on the Tulsa City Council, you ought to at least have lived there for a year to understand the issues that your neighbors and potential constituents would face. And so that's why this is on the ballot as well.
And then the last third proposition that people are going to see on their ballots are going to have to do with extending the auditor's term and staggering the mayor and auditor so you don't elect them in the same election year. Is that right?
That's exactly right. So I think all your viewers know mayors are elected every 4 years. City council is up every 2 years. And I think the auditor, honestly, I think this change never got made back in 1990. I think it just got lost. It used to be that mayors were elected every 2 years as well, but that was changed at some point in the 80s to give mayors a 4-year term. And I think the councilors and I were in agreement that the city auditor ought to have a 4-year term as well to be able to do their job and hold the overall government accountable. It makes sense to have it alternate on the dates, off years when the mayor isn't on the ballot. And so we're putting that up as well. Right now, the auditor's up every 2 years, and that's a very specialized job.
Right.
And it's different from the city council where you want those councilors, whoever your councilor might be, and I say this as a former councilor, you want them immediately responsive to the citizens that they represent every 2 years, just like members of the United States House of Representatives are up every 2 years. For an executive level role like the mayor, it makes more sense to have a 2-year or a 4-year term. And for the auditor who's providing that oversight of our government, having a 4-year term makes sense as well. And so we put that on the ballot for the citizens to consider too.
I know that's a lot to get through, but I just feel it's really important when you go to the ballot box that you understand what you're voting yes or no for. Okay, real quick, I want to talk about job openings for the city. We had Dr. Gist on earlier this morning talking about the number of positions that they're struggling to fill. Businesses are having a hard time. The city's no different.
That's absolutely right. And we have over 200 vacant positions on our team at the city right now that we're looking to hire great people into. And that's everything from police officers and firefighters to folks who are working on waterline crews, to fixing streets, to working in parks and office jobs here at City Hall. It's the full gamut. I mean, the range of work that the city government does every day with $1 billion plus budget and over 3,500 employees there's something for everybody in there if you're looking for a career in public service. The city council and I this year approved one of, if not the greatest increase in employee pay in the history of the city to make us more competitive for these jobs. And then we're going to have a career fair, as you mentioned, on a week from today, on August 17th at the Convention Center. And we will have people there that can answer any questions that folks have about these jobs and even get the hiring process started right there if people want to apply for these jobs. We're looking for people who love public service and want to be on the team of the best group of municipal public servants of any city in America.
Well, Mayor Bynum, thank you for your time again. August 17th is the Career Expo. August 23rd is the election where you'll be voting for people, but also city propositions. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you.